Thank you.
You're welcome. And I have my mom here. I figured this would be a really, really good time to bring her on the show because she is my very own walking miracle. She's the reason why I'm here, the reason why I am the woman that I am today. And so I definitely wanted to come on here and ask her some questions because I feel like she did a phenomenal job being my mother and all of my craziness. For anybody who knows me, I can have some real crazy moments. I can be a little crazy. So she does really well with dealing with me. And so I appreciate her for that. And of course, she's definitely out of her element on this video today. But it's all right because she did it for me. And I feel like she has some really wonderful advice to give to young mothers. Things that she's not even aware of that she did for us, things that I've learned from her that she don't even remember teaching me. You know, she like to create stories, but she can't quite remember them sometimes. But I'm super, super excited to be interviewing my mom because she has so much great insight. And so, Mama, I want you to introduce yourself. Just tell us your name, how many children you got, how much you love us. So tell us your name, Mama.
Hi, my name is Samantha Brown. I have 7 kids. I did increase some by marriage, but I do have some wonderful kids. We have had our good and bad, and I do want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers out there.
Yeah, so you got 7 kids. So let's name them all. So you got me. I'm the oldest, and I can't tell you what my age is because some of my students be watching this, and I told them I never tell them. So I'm the oldest, and then you got Tyler, Talia, you got Fadarius, you got Quez, you got Shan, and then you got Kevin. So that's all 7. So those are all my brothers and sisters that her and my stepfather have together, and we love her so very much. And yes, we have good times and we have bad times. So let's get down to it. I'm gonna ask my mama some questions. I'll do a bulk of the talking because I really just want to honor her today and let her know how much I appreciate everything that she does. Like she said, we've had our good and our bad times, but mainly good. So just throughout my life, just to give you a little bit of insight about me and my mom's relationship, we have a really, really wonderful relationship that I'm happy to have. I can talk to her about anything, and it's a judge-free zone. She doesn't always like what I say or like how I feel, but she always supports me, even if she realizes that it's not something that she would normally do. Because with me, my brothers and sisters, you know, I'm the entrepreneur. My sister's a basketball player. Tyler, he's a little mini genius. We don't know whether or not he's going to football or basketball yet. We're not really sure. But everything that we do, she definitely supports us in it. Even if we mess up, fall, and bust our heads by ventures that we're taking, risks that we're taking in life, she always supports. And so, Mom, I just have a quick question for you. How difficult is it to support your children even when you feel like they're making mistakes? Because I know you feel like that sometimes, especially about me. Because when I be telling her some of the stuff I'm doing, she's like, well, you know, I don't really think that you should. I should think you should just wait a little bit longer. And I'm just like, nope, I'm doing it. It's a wrap. It's done. So how is that, supporting your kids even when you feel like they're making a mistake?
Well, first of all, I do want to give God all the glory because without Him, I don't know how I would make it. I don't know how I would support y'all. But first of all, even, you know, the good and bad on everything that y'all decide that y'all want to do, you know, I just feel like if you have a little push and a little support, and even if you do fail, as long as you have that support system, then you'll get back up. Because I don't remember who said it, but someone said failure is not a word. It's when you fall and you get back up. And, you know, as long as when you make mistakes and you learn from it, and hopefully you learn from it, then it's always a good lesson because you're not going to be perfect.
Right. So we're not going to be perfect because Lord knows we have not been perfect. But every single time, whether, you know, we feel like we can't get back up or whether or not, you know, even though she told us, she was like, I don't think you should do that. And you like, well, you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. And when you bust your head, she'll be right there to pick up the pieces and help you put it back together and help you pick them up, even though sometimes she always say, girl, you better get up out of that bed. Ain't nobody got time for this. You got to keep going. I be like, Mama, hold on. Let me just have my moment. I need to have my moment and be sad, okay? Because I bust my head, it hurt real bad. I just need to be sad. But she's always there, basically just saying, get back up. You can do it. Push forward. You will be all right. You're not the first. You're definitely not going to be the last. And so I really, really appreciate that because not all children, not all people just in general have that support where it is like, well, Mama, I got a dream and this is what I want to do. And although she may not agree with it, she always supports it. She even lets me know, well, since I know that you're trying and I know that you're trying to do better, you know, you can always come home for a little bit, get yourself together, you know, pursue your dream and go forward. And a lot of people don't have that support system. And I appreciate that, because then it makes me work all the more harder, because I'm like, nah, I'm not going to go home. Actually, I want to buy you a home. So I'm going to work even harder at my dreams and my goals, because I know that she supports me. And I just want to show her that I appreciate that support. And so one of the things that my mom does not remember, because anybody who knows us, they kind of get to see a little bit of our relationship, how we interact, and some of the things that she just taught me throughout my life that have made me the woman that I am today. Even I was having a conversation with a young man the other day, and he asked me, did I have trust issues? And I thought to myself, because probably a few years ago, I would always be like, well, yeah, you know, I have trust issues. But I realized I really don't have trust issues. Actually, I'm very trusting, because my mama taught me a long time ago, and I don't know if she remembered this, but I was in high school, probably middle school-ish, and I had a friend, and my friend, she was crazy. My mom was like, I really don't think you should be friends with her. But she knew that I wasn't going to listen. So she decided to teach me that you love people for who they are. And what that meant is that you know who people are. They show you all the time. Even if they're a liar, even if they steal, whatever the case is, everybody has a role. You're going to have some friends that you just party with, and that's going to be it. They're your fun friends. You have fun with them. When you want to have a good time, that's who you call. You're going to have your friends that you can share, you know, those pivotal moments with. And when you're going through something, those are the friends you call. They're going to give you the best advice. And you know, you might not call them to go out, but they give you good advice. And then you have friends that you're intellectual friends, and everybody has their place. And once you begin to love people for who they are, it makes life so much easier, because you might find yourself disappointed, but at the end of the day, disappointment doesn't last as long. You don't get all down in the dumps, because you knew who they were and you loved them for the person that they were. And so you don't necessarily really worry about it. When somebody lies and you know they're a liar, you're like, you know what? I was just hoping that you would be better, but I knew you was a liar anyway, so it's fine. Don't even worry about it. I still love you. I just know that there's certain things that I just cannot fool with when it comes to you. And I appreciate that lesson so much. And so, Mama, I want to ask you, when you taught me this lesson, I don't even think you remember it. Do you remember it?
Well, I know during your middle school and high school, you did have a lot of people you depend on and that you felt like they should do better. So, you know, with me being a young mother, 20 years old, having you, being raised by my mother, my grandmother, and my aunt now, it was just, you know, you just have to love people for who they are, because people are not perfect. That even is for me. So if I was teaching it, I probably was teaching you that, you know, if I make a mistake, forgive me, but love me anyway, because I'm not perfect and we're going to make mistakes along the way. So if I did teach you that, it was probably to help you with our relationship.
Oh, okay. So you was trying to throw one in there for yourself.
Yeah.
So when you mess up, so I can blame you for this forgiveness spirit I got.
Well, you know, it's good to have a forgiving spirit, because you can't get to heaven without forgiving.
Okay.
You don't have to forget, but you.
So okay, I'm gonna say okay, because my mama, she taught me so well that I just started forgiving everybody for everything and still let them be there. And then finally, she had to go back and be like, okay, let me say this again, because I say I could blame her for my forgiving spirit, because there's been a lot of people in my life that have done a lot of things, and I'm not perfect. I've done things too, but there's some people that have done some really crazy things, and she'd be like, Tiara, like, I don't understand. Like, why don't you just get rid of them? Like, just get rid of the person. I'm just like, well, no, because people, you know, they go through things. She's just like, I don't understand, but you taught me that though. So I can thank you for that. So now you can, when you start thinking about like, well, why is she doing this? Just thank yourself, because you're the one that taught me to love people for who they are and give people chances, because people make mistakes and they're not perfect.
Yeah, that is true. But then also we have to learn that it is a limit. That, you know, once a person do show you who they are, then you do love them, but you love them from a distance. You don't continue to allow them to hurt you or to be that person that can get to you, because, you know, just a firm believer. First time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. It's not going to be a third.
It's not going to be a third. So, yeah, that's something I had to learn in my adult life, though. I had to learn them limits in my adult life, because middle school, high school, and I think that's why she was trying to teach me that, because she was just like, Lord, I just worry about my poor child. Like, she's so forgiving. and her limit for just foolishness is way too high. And I just want her to bring it down a notch. And she still tells me that today. Like, I just worry about you so much because I know how you are. And when you love, you just love so hard. And I worry about you because I want you to learn, like, yes, you love people, but you got to get rid of some of them. You got to let them go. But I'm learning it, Mama, and I'm okay. So as you can see, I survived, and I'm stronger, and I always come out better, and I always come out on top if you ain't know. So you definitely raised a survivor, and I always come back better. So you don't have to worry about that. But so those were just one of the many lessons that my mom taught me, just growing up. And one of the things that I can say that I watch a lot. I'm an observer. I'm very observant. I watch everything, things you might not think that I'm aware of. I'm listening. Even if I'm not looking at you, I'm listening to you. And so I just watched my mom operate, even as I was a kid. And then as I got older, I understood what I was seeing and what I was watching. And even in her early years, her younger years, yeah, she had her moments. You know, she used to play her music real loud. Now she can't stand the sound of anything too loud. But she used to play her music real loud. And I just watched her work really, really hard throughout, especially those younger years of my life. Work really, really hard to make sure that we had everything we needed. And even sometimes when we didn't have what we needed, because, you know, y'all, her nickname not Smack for no reason. I could tell y'all some stories about her, but she has definitely gotten better than she did than she was then. But even just watching all of those different pieces of her life as she was really finding out who she was and trying to raise me the right way. And one of the things I can say is that when I look at young parents today, not all, but just some, she never looked at me or made me feel like we were friends. I always knew that she was my mom. I always knew what the boundaries were, and I knew the looks. Okay, she used to have this look. Now she don't do my brother and sister like this, but me, since I was the first, since I was the first, I used to get thumped on the ear. I used to get pinched, all of those things. She didn't even really ever have to whoop me because she used to just get me right on spot. So I didn't have to worry about it. But I knew it was coming. My brother and sister, they not aware when it's coming. They just get smacked out of nowhere and they act like they don't know what happened. But I knew once she started acting a certain way, I'm like, all right, let me just let up a little bit because she about to get mad. Once she get mad, it's a wrap. So I just watched her and I really appreciate it. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I see a lot of, I'm a teacher, of course. A teacher / entrepreneur, and we'll talk about that later because I don't want everybody to know everything just yet. But I will let y'all know some of the things, some of the journey, pieces of my journey that I am taking in a few months, and I cannot wait to talk about that part of my journey. But I'm a teacher right now, and I see children all the time, whether it be on my Facebook feed, children that I teach in a classroom, and I watch their behavior. And one of the things that I've noticed, and this is why I wanted my mom to, you know, any advice that she can offer, but younger mothers, you know, you allow your children to cuss and you laugh and you think that it's funny. And you like, what'd you say? Say it again. And you think it's really, really funny. And then when they're 9 years old, you can't figure out why you can't control them. You can't figure out why they don't have no respect for you or anybody else. Or the little baby girl. She's a little baby girl, yes. And she twerking. She's shaking a little butt. She dropping it low. And then you're like, oh, that's so cute. But then she 15 now. Now you can't figure out why she doing the things that she's doing. And that's one of the things I respected about my mom so much is that she never really allowed me to do those things. Like I knew from the jump start, she didn't think me misbehaving, even if I was a child and didn't know what I was saying or what I was doing was funny. Soon as I misbehaved, I knew automatically that I was wrong. And because of those things, a lot of people always ask my mom, and you know, she's very modest and she's very humble and she doesn't really say. They always ask her like, oh, you got 3 good children because, you know, she has 7. But the 3 of us who have grown up with her all of our lives, they always like, oh, your children are so good. You know, my sister, she's off in school on a full ride for basketball. You know, I've graduated, became a teacher. I'm self-sufficient. My brother, he's still young, but he's very respectful to other people. Okay? Because he a little crazy with us. But anyway, he very respectful. And I was like, oh, you got 3 wonderful children. Like, you're such a great mother. How did you do those things? And that's one of the things that I noticed, the difference that I noticed is that when we're wrong, we're wrong. Like there is no, oh, you curse and then it's okay. Even now as an adult, I have said cuss words in front of my mom. I probably shouldn't have said them, but most of those cuss words came when I was like livid mad. Like I'm about to kill somebody. Mama, you better come help because if you don't, your daughter gonna be in jail. Because even now, like just on a regular day, I don't cuss in front of my mom, not because I don't know. It's just it doesn't feel right because she always made me feel like, like I definitely had to. It's just a respect thing. Where you have some kids now who, as a teacher, they'll cuss up a storm. And so one of the things that I wanted to ask you, because I see it all the time, these kids, I teach teenagers, they develop and they're so rebellious. They have just a spirit of rebellion. They don't want to listen to nobody. They don't respect authority. They don't see any wrong in anything that they do. They don't even understand, like, okay, you're trying to explain to them you were wrong in a situation. Well, I wasn't wrong because it ain't that serious, but just the fact that you're not respecting an adult, that's where you went wrong. And I just don't see that's those same characteristics. Me, my sister, my brother, we're all very different because I'm 9 years older than my sister, 15 years older than my brother. So we're all very different because the age differences are so much. But the one thing that is common is that when we're wrong, we know we're wrong and we know the limit. Whereas some teenagers that you see, some kids that you see, even some parents, you can't tell them nothing. Some of these younger parents, you can't tell them not one thing. If you just say, I don't think you should be teaching, let little Susie do that because that's not really cute. And she's only 2 and she over here twerking. Like, I don't think that's good. And like, oh, she just a baby. She don't know no better. So, mama, when you were growing up, because you were young when you were 20 years old. So at 20 years old, of course, I'm not going to tell y'all how old I am once again because I'm about to say it. You were 20 years old and I'm older than you were when you had me. But I couldn't imagine being 20 years old and still trying to be like a parent and not, really want to be your kid's friend, not want to allow them to do, certain things and be like, oh, that's funny, haha, because you were still like a kid yourself in a sense, still growing up, still trying to figure out who you were. So when you were raising us, because I'm pretty sure, I'm sure it is tempting. Like even as a teacher, sometimes when I'm in the classroom with my kids, I want to play with them. Like I want to laugh and have a good time, but I recognize that I'm the adult, so I have to hold myself to a different standard. So how hard was it to still be trying to find yourself, still growing up yourself, and then raising me, then when my sister and brother came, he was a little bit older, but raising me, and still trying to maintain that balance between, okay, this is my daughter, I'm her mother, versus this is my daughter and I'm her friend.
Well, I have a lot of good role models in my time. I thank my mother, my aunt, my grandmother. I thank all of them for being a part. And everybody is different. And you pick up little things from here, there, and you just try to, as a person, put them together and you do what you feel is right. But now my aunt Lucia, she's not here anymore, but I wish she could be here to see me because she was a very, very good woman. And she used to always tell me and my cousin, which was my best friend growing up, Amanda, me and her, we did a whole lot of crazy stuff, but we still here. And my Aunt Lucia used to always tell us, you got to respect people, but in order for you to get respect, you have to give respect. So she used to always give us respect, even when we was wrong. She tell us what we do. She punished us. She made us hold us a standard of what we did and how we did it. And she talked to us. She always was talking to us. She always was giving us lesson learned, and she will always let us express ourselves. But she used to say, hey, it's a way to talk. Don't talk to me any kind of way. Don't disrespect me. But she let us express ourselves, and I learned a lot from that. And like I said, my grandmother and my mom, all of them played a good role in it. I just remember, being with her because me and my cousin, I said that was my ace, my dog, whatever y'all say these days. And growing up, me and her, oh Lord, thank God that he kept us. So it was just me learning, taking a little bit from here, there, and just hoping that I get it right, because we don't ever get a manual on how to be a mother. We don't get one. And people always say, well, what do you do? And I said, well, first of all, I don't say nobody's parenting is wrong, because my parenting is not right, your parenting is not right, but it's not wrong, and mine is not wrong either. We're going to learn. But if we want better, then we just got to try to do better. And I just tell anybody who's a mother, if you want better for your kids, then you show them better. Then you try to do better. And when you know better, you do better. And that's easy said than done, but it's a lot of good mothers out here that could give you a lot of advice. If you're young, old, we can get something from the young women's and the older women can give something to the young ones. I think we all, if we get together and we talk, we can learn something from each other. And I have learned a lot from my kids too. They have grown me as well. I'm not gonna say if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be the person that I am now. So, my daughters, my son, they have all been the inspiration of my life.
Oh, thanks, Mom. Yes. So that's definitely yeah, we learned a lot from each other. Like I said, yeah, we don't always agree. And anybody who know me knows that when and what you were saying about Aunt Lucille, and I do remember Aunt Lucille, as I was growing up, that's one of the things that my mom did do that I can say that when there was a problem, even before I got a whooping, y'all. Like I told y'all, I didn't get too many whoopings because I really went for the whoopings. I was not for the whoopings at all. But even before I would get a whooping, she would always talk to me and ask me like, well, why did you do this? Like I remember one time specifically, okay, she had bought me this Winnie the Pooh watch for Christmas. And I remember this. And the girl had came to the door and I had lost the watch and she had my Winnie the Pooh watch on. I knew it was mine because it was a unique watch and I know she didn't have one like mine. And I was talking to her about like my watch because I was trying to get it from her, but I forgot that I was washing dishes. So I let this water run over it because me and her stood at that door, had to be 10 minutes arguing about this watch. And then I was like, oh gosh, I was washing dishes. By the time I got back to the kitchen, the whole kitchen was like flooded. And my mama, and I mean, I didn't know what to do. Like I didn't have at the time, my thought process wasn't sweep it out the back door and be done with it because we still had like the linoleum floors or whatever. But so I'm just like, oh my goodness, like I'm gonna have to tell my mama. So like I told y'all, I don't like whoopings. I knew she was gonna be mad. So, but I had to tell her because I didn't know how to get the water up because it was like this high. It was no way that I was getting this water up with a towel. So I went and told her, and y'all, she whooped me. And the only way that I could save myself, because I was about to get 2 whoopings, because that's how mad she was. Because the first one, she didn't feel like I had cried good enough. So she was like, I'm going to whoop you again. And I was like, wait, let me tell you what happened. So I explained to her what happened, and I saved myself from a second whooping, because she gave me the time to explain, like, why I let this water run over. That I wasn't just, being crazy. That I was actually at the door because the watch she had, and of course she did go get my watch too. I got my watch back because the little girl, she knew her mom because it was my watch. I knew that it was my watch. And I had dropped it outside and she ended up picking it up. That was the story. But I remember every time that, I would do something wrong or something would happen, she would always give me time to explain. And because of that, our relationship, my mom knows me really, really well. Even when somebody tells her something about me, like I can tell you countless stories, when I started working, one of the managers was like, well, Tara, she's just so disrespectful. She disrespected me. My mom said, oh, okay. What did you do? He was like, what do you mean? He was like, what did you do to her? He was like, I don't understand. She was like, well, I know my child well enough to know that she's not disrespectful. So you did something to her to, elicit that response. And he did. He was very rude to me. He was very nasty to me because, of course, I was younger. So a lot of times the managers don't feel like they have to respect younger people because they're working. So then, of course, she knows what it was. So finally when he explained it, her nickname Smack, so then she had to let him know not to be messing with her child like that. So anyway, but yeah, so that's one of the things that I do appreciate it about you, because as an adult, it allows me to articulate what I'm feeling, why I do what I do, even when I'm in my private time and I'm talking to God and I've done something and I know that it wasn't right and I know it was out of character, but I don't even know why I did it. And then it gives me time to go back and say, you know what? This is why I did this. I was feeling this way, and this is something that happened. This is something a person did to me a week ago, and I thought that it didn't bother me, but it actually did, and this is why I did what I did. So I appreciate it, just letting me express myself, teaching me how to express myself. Even now, sometimes when we on the phone, I'll be like, you know what? I don't want to talk to you. Like I'm getting off the phone right now. And she'll be like, well, okay, then that's fine, because even when things happen now, she doesn't always give me the answer I want to hear. It's always the one that she feels like is going to help me the most. And like she said, we learn from each other. I make mistakes, and even she's a human being too. She makes mistakes. I think my mom is the best. I think she's perfect. But we both have our times and we have our days. And I just appreciate it. I appreciate who she is as a mother, because even with some of the decisions that I've made or that I'm about to make at the beginning of this next month, I would not have been able to make them and feel comfortable in making them and taking my life to the next level if I didn't have such a strong support system. Because I'm aware, like, the worst that could happen is I have to come home. And I'm okay with that. Like, that's the worst. But the best that could happen is I could change the whole dynamics of my life, her life, future generations, present generations. And because of who she is, it allows me to be able to say, you know what? Even if it fails, I have somewhere to go. Even if it fails, I'm not going to be hungry. And that's so important because it allows me to pursue my dreams, because everybody doesn't have that. And a lot of times for a lot of people, dreams have, went to the grave with them because they did not have a support system. And so just on this Mother's Day, like she was saying, allowing that she could still learn stuff from younger mothers. Younger mothers could learn stuff from mothers who've been there for a while. It's so, that's my brother creeping up the stairs. Mom told him not to go out the door, but she said he went out the door anyway. Yeah. But so just learning. So one of the things that I just want to say, I'm not a mother yet. Well, biologically, I'm not a mother. However, I have hundreds of children. And one of the things that bothers me the most is seeing how they have developed, because as parents, we allow them to get away with so much because, it's like, oh, that's not that serious. Oh, it's not that serious. But a whole bunch of that's not that serious is turned into a rebellious child that you no longer can control, that can end up ruining their lives just because we keep telling them it's not that serious. And younger mothers, even some older mothers, it's okay to listen to other people. One of the things that I hate the most is when, as a teacher, when I've spent time with children, like countless, I spend most of my time, honestly, with young people, children, talking to them, them telling me things that, honestly, I don't even know what to do with sometimes, because some of the stuff, it just be so out there. I'd be like, Lord, what you want me to do with this? Like, what am I supposed to, I don't understand. And even, shedding tears for these children, praying for them. And then to go and talk to a person who has a kid, and I'm, shedding insight, and it's like, well, you don't have children. No, actually, I have more children than you do. I don't have any biologically, but if people understood like the bonds that are formed in the way that I just want to take some of them home, but legally I can't, and all of these logistics of things. And so when people are seeing things in your children, just in today's time, I feel like one of the things that I really wanted to bring you on here and say is that we're losing our kids because we don't want to listen to nobody. Like, nobody wants to listen to anybody else. Somebody calls you and say, hey, I saw little Susie and she was doing this. You can't tell me nothing about my child because why? Because those are the very things that could save her life. Those are the very things that could save her from making a mistake. If somebody's coming and telling you something, no, you don't let anybody, disrespect your child. But if somebody's legitly coming and saying, hey, this is something that I recognize, this is something that I saw, even if it's just simply, she seemed really quiet. She wasn't like that 6 months ago. What's going on? Oh, ain't nothing going on. No, she wasn't like that. Like, her whole disposition has changed. Like, she's a completely different person from just 6 months ago. You might want to, talk to her, take her to talk to someone. Just looking at it, listening to people, because sometimes people watch your children more than you do because you're working. You have a lot going on. Like I said, my mom, she was 20 years old when she had me. And then I grew up during her early and late 20s and all of these things. Sometimes she wasn't able to watch me as closely as she probably would like have. She was working. Sometimes she was tired. And luckily enough, just from, our interaction, we did interact. We did go places together. I was able to be self-sufficient because I knew she explained to me. And that's another thing. Realizing that your kids, they're kids, but they're so smart. And sometimes if you just explain to them, hey, mama loves you, but I'm working hard for you. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do this. This is what I'm doing. And this is what I need you to do. As my baby, I need you to go to school. I need you to make good grades. Like, my mama instilled in me. I still can't even tell you how she did it. But she instilled in me at a very early age that this was her job and this was my job. And that she loved me so much that she was willing to make all of these sacrifices for me, and all I had to do was be a good girl, go to school, make sure my grades were together, all of these things. And those things are still instilled in me today because, like y'all know, I don't have a kid, I don't have a husband, so I work for my family still. They're like, well, what family are you working for? I'm working for my mama, my sister, my brother, because I want them to have so much more because of the things that she instilled in me. So everything that I do is for the present generations, the ones of us who are already here, and the ones that we're going to have in the future because of just that connection that we have, the conversations that me and my mom had. even as a young child, conversations that you don't want to have with your kids because you're trying to shelter them. Sometimes you need to have those conversations because they understand. They'll understand what you're saying. They'll understand, okay, my mama have to go to work and I have to stay here and do my part so that she can make sure that everything is taken care of. When my mama come home, I'm not going to get on her nerves because I know that she's been working. Now, my sister and brother, I love them, but I can't say the same for them. But because I was the only child, my maturity level was a lot higher. So just having those conversations. So I just want to end with asking my mom one more question. And Mom, so when you were having those conversations with me, because our relationship, I feel like, is a result of those early on conversations where we were able to talk and develop. I know that you're my mom and I treat you as my mom, but also, along the way, I don't want to say we develop a friendship because, some parents be like, I can't be friends with my kids. But we developed the understanding that, she is my best friend, that she is my biggest supporter. She is my number one fan. And that some things that I won't even tell my friends, I won't even share it with my friends, but I'll share it with my mother because I know that she loves me no matter what. I don't have to worry about her talking about me. And so when I was younger, and some of the conversations we had, hopefully you don't mind me sharing this, but one time you lost your job. You remember that?
I do.
When you lost your job, I don't know. I had to be somewhere between like 6 and 8. I don't know exactly how old I was, but I had to be somewhere between 6 and 8, and it was around Christmas time. And I remember us going to Applebee's. She took her last little bit of money and we went to Applebee's, and she sat me down because she wanted to tell me what no Santa Claus, because I wasn't getting that for Christmas because she had lost her job. So she was like, all right, and we sat there and we had this whole conversation about the fact that there was no Santa Claus and that I probably wasn't going to get anything for Christmas. And it was a hard conversation to have for her as a mother. However, when I saw that it was a hard conversation for her to have, I was like, you know what, Mama, it's okay. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I don't have to have anything for Christmas. But, however, God is so good that it was one of the best Christmases that I ever had because, people knew and they brought gifts. Like, the whole Christmas tree, by the time Christmas came, was filled. Like, I had more gifts than I had when she was working. And so, God still provided for us every step of the way. But what made you have, like, those really tough conversations with me and be honest with me and just let me know what it was and what it wasn't?
Well, as I stated, if you let people know where you are and where you're trying to go, not only the people around you, but your kids, you don't have to be harsh with them and be nasty, but, let kids know. And depending on their age or how you present it to them, you sometimes have to present things to kids to let them know this is how it is. And this is how it's going to be. And, I'm sorry, or, we'll get through this, and let them indwell it. And still, when things happen, it's a shock. Because I know, when things happen and it just happened, it's a shock to you. But if you try to prepare for it, then it's a little better. Because I always say it takes a whole village to raise a child. We don't do that anymore, but I still do that. And I'll tell anybody, I know my kids when they're with me. When they're not with me, I don't know. And to say, not to say that I have bad kids or you have bad kids, but sometimes your kids do things when they're not with you that you would have never thought they would do. And so when people, instead of people, sit and say, oh, look at Samantha, daughter or son out there doing this, I'm going to call her. And, and sometimes I know it's a hard conversation because people don't receive it like they used to in the old days, because by the time I got home, I done did something. My aunt, my mom, my grandma, everybody waiting on me. And I was like, wait a minute, now I just did this 5 minutes ago. But by the time I make it to the house, everybody knew. Because back in those days, people used to call, oh, I seen Smack doing this. And it wasn't nice. And by the time I got home, I don't got about 3 or 4 whoopings for what? I don't understand that. But, it didn't kill me. It made me better. So I just wish, some parents, if you see something, please let people know. Don't always judge. I mean, we are human and we're gonna make mistakes. But if you see a baby or a young child doing something and you do know their parents, let them be aware, because their parents might not know, because they could be different people. Be one person this place, another person this place. And that's why I say, we know our kids, But when they're not with us, we don't.
So your advice is don't judge the children. Call their parents and let them know. Because I mean, I don't know who y'all believe in. I don't know who y'all pray to. If you're watching this video, but it's a spiritual warfare going on out here, and sometimes it's not your kids. Sometimes they may be the one or the vessel that has been chosen to do whatever, but they're fighting against so much. You know, you may know them, you may know the person that they are, but when something gets a hold of them, they are influenced by something. You know, you just don't know how they're going to, you know, present it, what's going to come out. And so by calling instead of judging the child and calling and letting them know, it's really the best thing. And that's one of the reasons. Now we're gonna have a whole segment about it. I'm not even gonna get into that because I was about to say something else, and that's gonna spill the beans for stuff that I'm gonna talk about later. But Mama, I just wanted to say thank you because, you know, y'all, when I asked her to do this video, she was just like, like she did hit me with one to let me pray about it. I was like, pray about what? What you need to pray about? I'm your daughter. We talk all the time. We just go do it on video for my show. Then she was like, well, okay, I guess so. That was just her way of saying, like, I don't really know about the video. I don't really want to be on the video. So I thank you for doing it, and I just wanted to tell you how wonderful you are and how much I love you. And I know that sometimes I could be a handful, and my sister could be a handful, and our brother could be a handful, and Kelvin, and Shan, and Dada, and we all can be a handful sometimes, but we do appreciate you, and the time is coming, Mama. I just want you to know this is me prophesying, y'all. The time is coming where they really you ain't gonna have no choice but to do videos on parenting skills because they gonna want to know how you raised all these millionaires. They gonna know how you raised them all. Well, they're going to want to know how you raise the entrepreneur. They're going to want to know how you raise the basketball player. They're going to know how you raise, like I said, we don't know where Tyler going, whether he's going to be a super genius or a basketball or football player or what he going to do. We don't know. But they're going to want to know. So the time is going to come where you're going to have to, of course, I didn't, you know, mention like our whole story because there really is so much more because I don't know how comfortable you feel. But one day you're going to have to tell the story because people are going to need to know, young mothers, women in general are going to need to know like, what really happened, how we really got here, some of the things as a family that we still deal with today that people would not believe because she's such a wonderful mom and she was going through so much in her early life and so many different transitions, but yet she still found the time to be a good mom and talk to us and love us, and even when we act crazy, because Mama, let me tell you, she's so good, y'all, that even when I act crazy and I've been on said something I shouldn't say, she don't even say that to me no more. She just say, okay, Tiara, all right then. Then I just feel so guilty. I just got to call back and apologize. She ain't even said nothing. I just, you know what, Mama, I apologize that I said that earlier. I was just upset and I didn't mean it. And if I did mean it, then I'll say I didn't mean it the way that I said it. What I was trying to say, I could have said it in a better way. And so that's just how wonderful she is. And so, Mama, we thank you. I thank you. And I love you, Mama. I love you too. And y'all have a wonderful week. Y'all continue to be the walking miracles that you are. And remember that you are not alone. No matter what has happened, no matter what mistakes you made, no matter how you're feeling, it's never too late to start over. It's never too late to continue to walk this thing out. And I hope this encourages and inspires somebody today. And Uncle Rico, I know you told us to tell everything, but we can't tell everything today. But one day, my mama's going to give her testimony. I just wanted one day, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to pray about it because she wasn't giving it today, y'all. So that's why I didn't even ask her no questions dealing with her testimony because she wasn't giving it today. But I thank y'all for watching. And this is my mom. And I love her. And so y'all have a good day. Nobody can say no when Jesus says yes. Nobody.